So here we are again, boys and girls. Let's carry on working together about the last unit in your program, which is feelings and emotions. So unit 4, feelings and emotions. We'll start first talking about vocabulary that is related to the theme of feelings and emotions. So A, you will have to find which feelings, the underlined words in sentences 1, 3, you will have 3 sentences, point to. So what feelings do the underlined adjectives express in sentences 1 to 3? And you will have to give evidence from the sentence. Let's start with sentence 1. Every morning, Sam is so enthusiastic to begin his day that he jumps out of bed and begins singing. Now what you will have to do here is to find out which feeling the underlined word here, it is enthusiastic, what feeling this word points to, and you will have to find evidence in the sentence. That is, what are the indications, what are the words that help you understand the word enthusiastic. So, does enthusiastic here refer to timidity? Does it express joy and excitement? Or does it express anger and sadness? So, enthusiastic, you see, expresses joy and excitement. Now, there are words in this sentence which help us decide, which help us understand the word enthusiastic. What are these words? What do you think they can be? So enthusiastic to begin his day that he jumps out of bed and begins singing. You see, jumps out of bed, begins singing. You know, when you wake up in the morning and jump out of bed, it shows you are excited to start a new day, and when you sing, also it shows that you're happy. It tells people about your mood, your temper, your state of mind. It shows you are happy, you are excited. So enthusiastic here expresses joy and excitement. And the words in the sentence which indicate that, these are these expressions: jumps out of bed and begins singing. David is quite shy, so he doesn't feel at ease with people he doesn't know. Now, what does the word shy here express? Is it timidity? Is it joy and excitement? Or anger and sadness? You see, shy expresses timidity. Timidity is a state of mind where people are hesitating and so on. What evidence can we find in the sentence? Not at ease with strangers. Strangers are people we don't know. A stranger is a person that we don't know. So David is quite shy. What is the result? The result is that he doesn't feel at ease. He's not comfortable with strangers or with people he doesn't know. Let's go to sentence 3. A year after being fired from his job, Alan is still very bitter. He has a lot of resentment towards his former boss. former that is in the past. So a year after being fired from his job, Alan is still very bitter. He has a lot of resentment towards his former boss. Now, does the word bitter express timidity, joy and excitement, or anger and sadness caused by unfair treatment? You see, it expresses anger and sadness. Now, what are the words that indicate that? We see that he refers to Alan. He has a lot of resentment towards his former boss. Resentment is a feeling of dislike. You detest. Resentment, that is dislike. So he has a lot of resentment towards his former boss. So here is the evidence here in this sentence. Now, here is your table, the whole work here. So we have feelings, words, and evidence. Shy, which expresses timidity. The evidence in the sentence is the words not at ease with strangers. Enthusiastic expresses joy and excitement. The evidence or the expressions are jumps out of bed and begins singing. Finally, bitter expresses anger and sadness. The evidence is that he has a lot of resentment, dislike towards his former boss. Now let's go to another exercise. B1. You will have to identify the adjectives that describe mood in sentences 1-13. So we will have 13 sentences, and each time you will have to identify the adjective that describes mood. Mood is the state of mind of people, how they are psychologically. They can be happy, they can be angry, they can be astonished. So here is the sentence number 1. I am absolutely furious. I cannot believe that my dog chewed my favorite shoes. Now they are ruined. Now what happens here? Someone is furious. The reason is that his dog or her dog chewed his or her favorite shoes. Now those shoes are ruined. So what is the adjective that describes the psychological state of this person? It is furious. Following sentence. When Emily has a lot of work to do and feels stressed, she becomes very tense and cannot relax. Cannot relax, that is, cannot just stay like that comfortably and so on, to relax. So when Emily has a lot of work to do and feels stressed, she becomes very tense and cannot relax. What are the adjectives or adjective that shows the mood of Emily here? We have two adjectives, stressed and tense. Following sentence. Even in hard times when I don't have a lot of money, I stay hopeful and believe that next month will be better. So, what is the adjective or what are the adjectives that describe mood here? Hopeful, hopeful. You see, this person believes that next month will be better. That is to hope for a better time. when I see that puzzled look on your face, I know that you haven't understood my question. What is the adjective that describes mood here? The state of being, the state of mind of a person? It is the word puzzled. You know the word puzzle, puzzled. So when I see that puzzled look on your face, that is, you are astonished, you don't understand, I know that you haven't understood my question. Wow, I'm really impressed that Ashley can speak 7 languages when I only speak 1. What is the adjective that expresses or that describes mood here? It is the word impressed. Impressed, that is to be impressed, to be affected. Huh? Sentence number 6. It's difficult not to become discouraged while looking for a job, especially when you hand out your CV to many employers and no one calls you. That is, it's difficult not to become discouraged here while you are looking for a job, so you wait for employers to call you and they don't. So you become discouraged. So the word which describes mood here is discouraged. Following sentence, affectionate children always want to be held in their parents' arms and receive lots of hugs and kisses. Huh? Affectionate children. So, what is the adjective that describes mood here? It's affectionate. Huh? Affectionate children. That is, children who need affection. Huh? 8. Grandpa was very proud of me when I got a promotion at work. He took me out to dinner to celebrate. Grandpa is grandfather, huh? So Grandpa was very proud of me when I got a promotion at work. He took me out to dinner to celebrate. What is the adjective that describes Grandpa's mood here? It is the word proud, huh? Proud. Sentence 9. After waiting for her turn for an hour, the woman grew impatient and left. Grew impatient, that is, became impatient, got impatient. So, after waiting for her turn for an hour, the woman grew impatient and left. That is, she went away. Yeah? What is the word which describes this woman's state of mind? It's the word impatient. Huh? The stubborn employee refused to admit that he had made a mistake. He kept insisting that he wasn't wrong. What is the adjective that describes this employee's state of mind here? It's the word stubborn. Stubborn. Huh? Following sentence. I am anxious to hear back about the job interview I had on Friday. I hope I'll get the job. What is the adjective in this sentence which describes my mood? It's me who's speaking. Huh? I am anxious to hear back about the job interview. So what is the adjective that describes my state of mind here? It's the word anxious. So sentence 12, it is said that children without siblings grow up to be selfish adults because they never learn to share with others. Siblings here means brothers and sisters. Huh? So it is said that children without brothers and sisters grow up to be selfish adults because they never learn to share with others. What is the adjective here which describes these children's mood here, it is the word selfish. Following sentence, nothing makes me more upset than when I fail my exams. I feel depressed for days. What happens to me when I fail my exams? I become upset and depressed for days. Let's go now to another task, which is about matching words with their definitions. So you see, we have words here and their definitions on the other side. So you will have to match these words with arrows. Huh? Now we have furious, stressed, tense. What are these words' definitions on the other side? Furious, is it nervous and worried or very angry? So furious means very angry. Huh? Stressed, what is the definition of stressed? It is anxious and too tired. Tense, tense means nervous and worried. Tense, tense. Hopeful, puzzled, and impressed. What is the definition of hopeful here? Is it showing admiration? Is it expecting a better future? Or confused and showing misunderstanding? I think you have clearly seen that it's expecting a better future. Someone who is hopeful is expecting a better future. Puzzled means confused and showing misunderstanding. You are puzzled when you are looking at someone with open eyes like that and you understand nothing. Huh? Impressed, showing admiration. That is, you admire someone for his talent, for his knowledge, for his intelligence. Discouraged, affectionate, and proud. What is the definition of discouraged? Is it honored, pleased? Is it lacking confidence and enthusiasm, or showing love and warm feelings? I think it's clear that discouraged means lacking confidence and enthusiasm. Huh? Affectionate, showing love and warm feelings. And proud means honored, pleased, and satisfied. You remember the old man, Grandpa was proud when I got a promotion, so he invited me to a restaurant. Impatient, stubborn, anxious. What is the definition of impatient? Unable to wait for a long time. You remember the woman? She waited for an hour and then left because she was impatient. Stubborn. What is the meaning of stubborn? It is determined not to change one's opinion. That is, you have set your opinion and you will not change whatever happens. Huh? Anxious, nervous, and worried. Selfish, upset, depressed. What's the definition of selfish? It is a selfish person is a person who is caring only about himself or about his advantage. So selfish means caring only about oneself or one's advantage. Upset, disappointed by something unpleasant. And depressed means very sad and without hope. Now 3 Complete the following table with nouns deriving from the given adjectives. So you have adjectives in this column, and you will have to find out the nouns that can derive from these adjectives. Furious, stressed, tense. What noun can we derive from furious? It is fury, fury. Stress and tension. Hopeful, puzzled, impressed. What noun can we derive from hopeful? We have two nouns in fact here. We have hope or hopefulness. Puzzle, a puzzle, and impression. Discouraged, affectionate, proud. What noun can we derive from discouraged? Discouragement, discouragement, affection, and pride. Impatient, stubborn, anxious. Impatience, stubbornness, and anxiety. Anxiety. Selfish, upset, depressed. Selfishness, you see we just add the suffix ness here. Selfishness. Upset is the same as the adjective. And depression. Now you will have to choose the word which is appropriate for each of these sentences here. Fill in each gap with words from this list. Impressed, hopeful, upset, puzzled, depressed, proud, and affectionate. Let's see sentence 1. She became deeply when her husband died. What happened to this woman when she lost her husband? She became deeply depressed. You remember depressed means sad and without hope. So she became deeply depressed when her husband died. He looked, so I repeated the question. When do you have to repeat your question? It is when the person doesn't understand. He looked puzzled, so I repeated the question. He is very towards his children. How are people towards their children? They are affectionate. He is very affectionate towards his children. Sitting Bull was a proud American Indian warrior. I don't know whether you know Sitting Bull. Sitting Bull was a very famous Indian warrior. So Sitting Bull was a proud American Indian warrior. She is of returning to work soon. She is hopeful of returning to work soon. Everybody is by Mrs. footballing talent. What happens to people when they see Messi playing football? They are impressed. So everybody is impressed by Messi's footballing talent. He was deeply by the loss of a friend of his in an accident. He was deeply upset by the loss of a friend of his in an accident. Now you will have to deal with the task which is on your book on page 169. You will have to add the suffix en to the adjectives in bold type to form verbs, you will have to make some necessary changes. Let's read the whole text first. Humor makes our mind broader because it allows us to see the funny side of life. Moreover, it can make our emotional life deeper and wider, since it develops in us that capacity to laugh at ourselves. Without it, our life expectancy would be shorter and our prospects would be darker. More importantly, while hardship makes our lives rough, humor makes them softer. So, your task is to add suffix en to these adjectives in bold type in order to have verbs. And of course, some changes are necessary. Let's deal with this text sentence by sentence. Here is sentence 1. Humor makes our mind broader because it allows us to see the funny side of life. Now, you remember we have to transform this adjective, a comparative adjective, into a verb with the suffix en. How can we do? Humor broadens our minds because it allows us to see the funny side of life. You see how the sentence is transformed. That is, this technique helps you learn how to paraphrase. But to paraphrase is to say the same idea with other words. So humor broadens our mind because it allows us to see the funny side of life. The following sentence in the text. Moreover, it can make our emotional life deeper and wider, since it develops in us that capacity to laugh at ourselves. So you know, when we laugh at ourselves, this allows us to accept problems, to accept poor situations, and so on. So, moreover, it deepens and widens our emotional life, since it develops in us that capacity to laugh at ourselves. Capacity, ability. Following sentence. Without it, that is without humor, without it, our life expectancy would be shorter and our prospects would be darker. Without it, our life expectancy would be shortened and our prospects would be darkened. The last sentence. More importantly, while hardship makes our lives rough, humor makes them softer. Hardship is a difficulty. More importantly, while hardship roughens our lives, humor softens them. Now let's have a look at the whole text. Humor broadens our mind because it allows us to see the funny side of life. Moreover, it deepens and widens our emotional life, since it develops in us that capacity to laugh at ourselves. Without it, our life expectancy would be shortened and our prospects would be darkened. More importantly, while hardship roughens our lives, humor softens them. Now, you see the meaning of to broaden here. To broaden means to make or to become broad or broader. And it's the same for all of these verbs. To deepen means to make or to become deep or deeper. It's the same for all the other verbs. Now you will have some more verbs which can be formed with the same way. We have adjectives in this column and verbs. Strong, white, loose, long, light, black, tight. Strong means forceful. Strong, to strengthen. To strengthen is to give more force or to become more forceful. White, to whiten. What is to whiten? To whiten is to paint in white. That is something which has another color. You paint it in white, you whiten it. Loose, to loosen. Long, to lengthen. Light, to lighten. Black, to blacken. And tight, to tighten. So, thank you for your attention. Goodbye, boys and girls. See you next time.
شكرا على المشاهدة. لا تنسوا الاشتراك في القناة، الضغط على الجرس، الإعجاب بالفيديو.